Good morning, class 9 students. Today we are going to study the same chapter, Physical Features, second part from Northern Plain of India. First of all, let's see Great Northern Plain of India. It is located south of Himalaya. We have studied Himalaya, three ranges are there. The northernmost range is Himadri, and the middle range is Lesser Himalaya, and lowest or southernmost range is Shivalik. So south of Shivalik, Great Northern Plain is spread south of Shivalik, and it is formed mainly because of the interplay of three major rivers and their tributaries: River Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra, and their tributaries. So we know that actually because of the formation of Himalayan mountain only, at the foothill of Himalayan mountain, rivers deposited sediments, and because of that continuous sediment deposition for millions of years, Great Northern Plain of India formed. And this area is fully alluvial soil because the rivers which originate in the Himalayan mountain used to bring sediment, and the sediment deposited in the plain in this area, and gradually this area changed as a plain area and filled with alluvial soil. This Great Northern Plain of India is around 7 lakh square kilometer, and it is 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer wide. This Great Northern Plain of India can be divided into three sections. Westernmost section is called Punjab Plain, and the middle area is known as Ganga Plain. Easternmost area is known as Brahmaputra Plain. Westernmost area, that is Indus Plain or Punjab Plain, is formed by River Indus and its tributaries like Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, and Beas. These five tributaries and River Indus brought sediment and that deposited and formed the westernmost area of Punjab Plain. And most of the area of the Punjab Plain is located in Pakistan. Only a few portion is found in India. And the middle area is known as Ganga Plain. And the easternmost area is known as Brahmaputra Plain. And as per the relief features also, Northern Plain can be divided into four sections. As per the relief features found in the Northern Plain can be divided into four sections. One is known as Babar, another known as Terai, then Bangar and Khadar. These are the four sections. We know that actually the rivers which originate from the Himalayan mountain that used to bring sediment, and along with sediment, pebbles, lots of such items they used to bring. This at the foothill of Himalaya, at the foothill of Shivalik, these rivers deposit pebbles around 8 to 16 kilometer wide, and that pebble deposited area is known as Babar. Here no vegetation is found, fully pebbles covered region like dry region. And after Babar, again rivers re-emerge, streams re-emerge, and because of the availability of water, presence of water, what is found there? That vegetation is also found. And the thick vegetation, thick forested region. And that region is known as Terai region. And after Terai, there are two regions. One is Bangar and another one Khadar. Bangar region is little away from the river area. That is part of river bed, but a little away. It is old alluvial soil deposited region. And the part of the river bed that is so close to the area which is so close to the river, that area is known as Khadar region, because here it is new alluvial soil is formed. Every year during flood, this soil is renewed, and so this soil is so suitable for cultivation or agricultural purposes. So these are the four sections or as per the relief features: Babar, Terai, Bangar and Khadar. So Babar is a region, pebble deposit region at the foothill of the mountains. Rivers deposit pebbles. This is around 8 to 16 kilometer wide. And after this pebble deposit region, in this pebble deposit region, no vegetation is found because it is just like a rocky surface area. And after that, the next region is next portion is called next part of the rivers called Tarai. This is river, marshy area, wet area, and because of that, here vegetation is found. And after Tarai, we can say the long area is the wide area. The biggest part of northern plain is Bangar region. Here it is old alluvial deposit region, and Khadar region is so close to the river area. There is new alluvial deposit area. These are the four sections as per the relief features. So once again, let us go through the northern plain. Around 7 lakh square kilometer total length, total size, total area of total geographical area of the northern plain is 7 lakh square kilometer. It is 2,400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer wide. This area is formed because of the interplay of Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus rivers and their tributaries. And we know that actually this area is fully alluvial soil and so suitable for agricultural production. And because of the plain land and because of the favorable climatic conditions, availability of water and suitable soil conditions, this area is very inhabited area also. Large number of people are living here, and this area is most productive region of our country also. Now let us study the topic, the peninsular plateau. This peninsular plateau is formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land. Already we have studied in the class regarding Pangaea and the ocean Pantalasa, and also how continents are formed and the movement of Indo-Australian plate and collision with the Eurasian plate. And that is called the drifting of Gondwana land and merging with the Eurasian plate. And because of that only the peninsular plateau formed. The peninsular plateau is formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land and merging with the Eurasian plate. And this peninsular plateau has two divisions. Northern part is known as Central Highland, southern part is known as Deccan Plateau. The part of peninsular plateau located north of Narmada River and covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau is known as Central Highland. The part of peninsular plateau located north of Narmada River and covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau known as Central Highland. And here some of the rivers are flowing through this area. The Chambal, the Betwa, the Sun and the Ken. These are the major rivers flowing through this region. Now the eastward extension of this plateau are locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelghat. The eastward extension of this peninsular plateau is locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelghat. So once again, this peninsular plateau is formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land and because of the collision of Indo-Australian plate with the Eurasian plate. And the peninsular plateau has two divisions. Northern part is known as Central Highland and the southern part is known as Deccan Plateau. The part of peninsular plateau located north of Narmada River and covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau is known as Central Highland. Major rivers flowing through this region, Chambal, Betwa, Sun and Ken. And the eastward extension of this plateau are generally known as or locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelghat. Now let us see about Deccan Plateau. It is a triangular landmass located south of Narmada River and Satpura mountain range. Satpura mountain range located as the northern border of Deccan Plateau. And other major hills found in the eastern portion, Maikal Hills, Maikal Range, Kaimur Hills and Mahadev Hills. These three hills formed the eastern extension of Deccan Plateau. And a part of this plateau is found in the northeastern region also. This region is popularly known as Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong and North Kachar Hills. So a part of Deccan Plateau is found in the northeastern region, popularly known as Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong and North Kachar Hills. And the main prominent hills found in this Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong, North Kachar Hills are Garo Hills, Khasi Hills and Jede Hills. So once again, go through the Deccan Plateau. It is a triangular landmass located south of river Narmada and Satpura Range. Satpura mountain range located as the northern border of this plateau, and the eastern border is mainly Maikal, Kaimur and Mahadev Hills. And a part of this plateau is found in the northeastern regions, popularly known as Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong and North Kachar Hills. And the three prominent hills found in this northeastern region, Garo, Khasi and Jede Hills, mainly located in Meghalaya. Now, let us see about Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Let's see some of the features of Western Ghats first of all. See, Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats mark the eastern and western edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. This is Western Ghat and this is Eastern Ghat. And Western Ghat lie parallel to the western coast of India, and Eastern Ghat lie parallel to the eastern coast of India. And first of all, let's see Western Ghat. Western Ghat are continuous and can be crossed only through passes. There are three main passes: Talgat, Borgat and Palgat. Talgat and Borgat, both these passes are found in the state of Maharashtra, and Palgat is found in the states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The average height of the Western Ghat is 900 to 1600 meters, but the Eastern Ghat just 1600 meters, 600 meters only. Western Ghat causes orographic rainfall because the rain-bearing wind which arises from the Arabian Sea blocked by Western Ghat, and because of that block, Western Ghat region receives rainfall. That is called orographic rainfall. And the highest peak in the Western Ghat is Anayamudi. So the features of Western Ghat, we know that actually Western Ghats are continuous and can be crossed only through passes. Three passes: Talgat, Borgat and Palgat. First two, Talgat and Borgat passes are found in the state of Maharashtra, and Palgat is found in the state of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats, the average height of the Western Ghats between 900 and 1600 meters, but the average height of the Eastern Ghat only 600 meters. The highest peak of the Western Ghat is Anayamudi, and Western Ghat causes orographic rainfall. Western Ghat located parallel to the western coast of India. Let's see the features of Eastern Ghat. The average height of Eastern Ghat is 600 meters, and the Eastern Ghat stretch from Mahanadi river valley to the Nilgiri hills in the south. Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and dissected by rivers which are flowing into Bay of Bengal. Many rivers are flowing just like Krishna, Tungabhadra, such kinds of rivers are flowing into Bay of Bengal, and because of the delta or because of these rivers, Eastern Ghats are dissected and discontinuous. And Mahendragiri is the highest peak of Eastern Ghat. Two famous hills are there: Shavro Hills and Javadi Hills, found in the southeast of Eastern Ghat. And two famous hill stations are Ooty and Kodaikanal. Ooty's new name is Udagamandalam. Ooty is the popular name, Udagamandalam is the new name. These are the two hill stations of Eastern Ghat. So once again, the average height of the Eastern Ghat is 600 meters. And this Eastern Ghat stretches from Mahanadi River Valley to the Nilgiri in the south. Highest mountain peak is Mahendragiri, and Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and dissected by rivers. Two famous hills, Shavarai and Javadi hills, and two famous hill stations are Udagamandalam, popularly known as Ooty and Kodaikanal. These are the two famous hill stations of Eastern Ghat. Now, let us see the features of Indian desert. Our Indian desert is located in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana. Around 60% of this desert is located in the state of Rajasthan, and rest of the portion is found in Punjab, Haryana and also Gujarat. Some portions of this desert is found in Pakistan also. And this region is very low rainfall receiving region. Less than 150 mm rainfall only available in this region. The major river is the largest river is Loni River. And here in this area, sand dunes are common. Sand dunes means hills of sand, we can say that. Berchans and longitudinal dunes. Berchans are crescent shaped dunes or longitudinal dunes. These type of dunes are common in this region. So once again, this region, especially Indian desert, is located in the state of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat. And this is very low rainfall receiving region, even less than 150 millimeter rainfall only this region is receiving. The largest river of this region is Loni River, and this region is very famous for sand dunes. Crescent shaped or berchans or longitudinal dunes are very common in this region. Now let us study about coastal plains. We have two coastal plains, Western Coastal Plain and Eastern Coastal Plain. Western Coastal Plain is sandwiched between Arabian Sea and Western Ghat. Similarly, Eastern Coastal Plain is sandwiched between Bay of Bengal and Eastern Ghat. And Western Coastal Plain has three divisions. The northern portion is known as Konkan Coast. This Konkan Coast is found in the states of Maharashtra and Goa. Konkan Coast. So now Western Coastal Plain has three divisions. The northern portion is known as Konkan Coast. This Konkan Coast is located in the states of Maharashtra and Goa. And the middle region is known as Kannada Plain. That is located in the states of Goa and Karnataka. And the southern portion is known as Malabar Coast. It is located in the states of Karnataka and Kerala. So Western Coastal Plain has three divisions. The northern portion is known as Konkan Coast, located in the states of Maharashtra and Goa. The middle region is known as Kannada Plain, located in the states of Goa and Karnataka. And the southern portion is known as Malabar Coast, and this Malabar Coast is located in the states of Kerala and Karnataka. And Eastern Coastal Plain has two sections. The northern portion is known as Northern Sircar and southern portion is known as Coromandel Coast. And Eastern Coastal Plain has another speciality. Here deltas are found. Deltas of major rivers like Mahanadi, Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri. All these rivers have deltas in this region. And in the Eastern Coastal Plain, one another feature is there, that is Lake Chilika. So these are about the coastal plains. We have two coastal plains, Western Coastal Plain and Eastern Coastal Plain. Western Coastal Plain is sandwiched between Arabian Sea and Western Ghat. Similarly, the Eastern Coastal Plain is sandwiched between Eastern Ghat and Bay of Bengal. Western Coastal Plain has three divisions. The northern portion is known as Konkan Coast. This Konkan Coast is located in the states of Maharashtra and Goa. And the middle region is known as Kannada Plain, and Kannada Plain is located in the states of Goa and Karnataka. And southern portion is known as Malabar Coast. This Malabar Coast is located in the states of Karnataka and Kerala. Eastern Coastal Plain has two divisions. The northern portion is known as Northern Sircar, southern portion is known as Coromandel Coast. And in the Eastern Coastal Plain, another feature is, we can say actually deltas. Deltas of Mahanadi, Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri found in this region. and in eastern coastal plain, Lake Chilika is found in the state of Odisha. Now, let us see the topic islands. We have two island groups. One island group is located in the Arabian Sea, that is known as the Lakshadweep Islands. Another island group is located in the Bay of Bengal, known as Andaman and Nicobar Island groups. First of all, let us see about the features of Lakshadweep Islands. There are 36 islands in Lakshadweep Island groups. Kavaratti is the capital. And this Lakshadweep Island, its earlier names were Minikoi, Amindiv and Lekkadeep. And in 1973, a permanent name was given, that is Lakshadweep. And this region has great variety of flora and fauna, and people are leading peaceful life in this area. It is one of the beautiful places of our country. So 36 islands are there, and Kavaratti is the capital. And earlier names were Minikoi, Amindiv and Lekkadeep. And in 1973 only the name Lakshadweep has been given. And this region has great variety of flora and fauna, and people are living very satisfactory, comfortable and peaceful lives here. Now let us say about Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These island groups are located in the Bay of Bengal. Here more than 500 island groups are there. In all the island groups people are not living. Some islands are uninhabited islands. And Port Blair is the capital. This island group has two sections. The northern section is known as Andaman, southern section is known as Nicobar Islands. And here also great variety of flora and fauna can be seen. So once again, more than 500 islands are there in the Andaman Nicobar Islands. The northern portion is known as Andaman, southern portion is known as Nicobar. Port Blair is the capital, and here also great variety of flora and fauna is found. So all of you go through this chapter very thoroughly and read again and again and understand the topic and answer to the given questions.